This is the grifter of all time. So, in today's episode, I will be serving up a Sunday roast, and it is based on this goat right here. Meh. That is my impression of Prince Harry right now. It is going to be fun, and of course, I will be providing all of the trimmings, so you are not going to want to miss this episode. I am also, of course, going to see if any information has been leaked about this meeting with the Sussexes and King Charles. And what do you think? Do you think it is watertight over there? Well, if you do, you need to sit down because, of course, things are leaking out already. It's only been a few hours and I already know a handful of information. Like, it's so dumb. But before we get into any of that, I'd love you to subscribe if you have not already. I'm here every single day putting out content on Harry and Meghan, and it's hilarious. Trust me, you are going to laugh and laugh. And no, not because Harry is pretending to be a goat, but because he does the dumbest things, and I love to highlight them for your enjoyment. So please make sure you are subscribed. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. So let's get to this episode, shall we? I cannot wait to fire up the barbecue. Oh, I am looking forward to some roasted goat today. Now, before we get into these two idiots, I always feel like we need to cleanse the air, and you guys know exactly how I like to do that. Yes, it is with Princess Catherine. I mean, for goodness sakes, just look at her. She just lights up the room. She really does. So she was obviously at Wimbledon wearing bright red. It looked absolutely amazing. You could not miss her. Now, this was a Roland Moreau dress with a slight peplum. Like, I didn't think anyone could still pull off a peplum, but I am wrong. It is always Princess Catherine. She does it so well. She is single handedly bringing back the peplum, I'm telling you. Now, I'm not the only one who has just loved seeing her there. Every single person in the audience did as well. Take a look at the standing ovation she got. Wow, she is loved. The UK cannot wait for her to be the Queen. You can see that. Now, when she was out on court as well, she got even more love. Take a listen to this. Oh, I love that. And it's so funny to see the difference between how people react to Princess Catherine and how the UK reacts to Meghan Markle. Meghan will be so jealous of this. You know she has seen this. You know she has probably watched it on repeat. We'll probably see Meghan in red very, very soon. Oh, she does this all the time. But I loved to see Catherine today. It was such a breath of fresh air, and I know you guys love it as well. So I love to start the show in a positive way. Now, speaking of positive, okay, what's the opposite of positive? And yes, you're right, it is Harry and Meghan. Ding, 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 ding. Very good. You got it right. Now, Harry and Meghan aren't wasting a second to bring up the association between themselves and Diana. Now, keeping in mind, poor Diana, she passed away years ago, okay? People remember her for all of the good things that she did, but for some reason, Harry and Meghan keep banging on about her and inserting themselves, and they've done it again. Now, this, I'm guessing, is all because they are about to go and see her gravesite, okay? No one needs to know this, but of course, they think we want to know, and they think they can probably sell it to Netflix as well. And maybe they will, I don't know. But they're starting early with this. So I saw this in People magazine, and it's such a dumb article that I know that this is all just such a setup. So Prince Harry reveals how he, Meghan Markle, and their kids honor Princess Diana on her birthday and death anniversary. I mean, this is such a strange article to put out, right? It has to be because they are about to go and see her gravesite. So, this article tells us, okay, that Harry was attending one of the Scotty's Little Soldier events that he actually showed up for. Okay, he stopped showing up for Invictus halfway through. Who knows exactly what was going on over there? I can only assume he was so embarrassed. Well done, CG String, well done. But he was attending this Scotty's Little Soldier event that was called Scotty's Summer Festival. Now there was a Q&A section. Now I don't know why, but there were 200 kids and their family members there and they could all ask questions. Now I'm sure all of these questions were screened. I mean otherwise Harry wouldn't even show up, would he? But one of the kids asked this question, and this seems incredibly staged, if you ask me. So, this kid was 16 years old, and this was his question. He asked, Harry, do you do anything special to commemorate the anniversary of your mother's death and her birthday? Now, keeping in mind, these are kids whose parents have sadly passed away while in combat or in the Defence Force in some way. So I don't know why they'd be asking Harry this question. His mother passed away under very different circumstances, but that was his question. Now, Harry's answer is very bizarre, and he says, yes, we do celebrate those anniversaries. We do lemon drizzle cake. Now that sounds like a complete lie to me, and it absolutely stinks of Meghan Markle. I do not trust this Q&A session at all. Now, Meghan Markle famously made this cake on her With Love Meghan show, if you remember that. And I've seen her cook, okay, or arrange food on a plate. So I'm pretty sure that she didn't actually even make this cake. I really don't think her skills are anywhere near this. I mean, the best baking show for her on Netflix really is Nailed It. That's about where she lands. But she wanted us to believe that she made this. So now Harry and Meghan are starting a narrative that they always cook on her birthday. This is too much. I would not be surprised if on the 31st of August we see a lemon drizzle cake on Instagram. And if we do, I'll know exactly that this was staged. So I just wanted to word you up on that Harry and Meghan are starting the narrative very early already for the 31st of August and getting in front of the whole 30-year anniversary as well. This is going to ramp up terribly over the next 12 months. It's going to be pretty disgusting, I think. So get ready for that. But let's get to the barbecue section, shall we? The roasting, the Sunday roast. Oops, wrong slide. Hang on a minute. We need the proper one. Here we go. Now we are talking. Now, Prince Harry is absolutely the best person for the roast this week because he has done every single thing wrong. And it's basically just too easy for me over here. Now, first of all, he didn't even show up for this event. I can't explain why he didn't show up. It would have been so easy. All you do is come along and pull a cord, and the curtain opens, and the train is there, and see you later. Like, it's such a simple appearance. Anyone could have done it, but he could not be bothered. And as I showed you in People magazine, they just didn't even address the fact that he didn't show up and instead put pictures like this in the article. And perhaps if you were so stupid, you would think that he was there, even though you can clearly see a line down the middle of the page. I mean, how dumb do they think we are? So not only did he not show up to this event, he did show up to this event, but he did the dumbest thing. So again, he deserves a roasting for this. And funnily enough, we have some animal friends who have helped us to take revenge. So this is Harry doing goat yoga. I never thought I would say those words on this show, but there you go. So Harry was trying to come across all relatable and funny, as he always does. He seems to think that will win the UK public over. I don't think so, but you tell me if this will work. I mean, we'll just laugh at him. He must know that when he does things like this, I am just going to put this into the slideshow immediately, maybe even as a thumbnail. But he was acting like a goat, and it really wasn't a big ask for him. He seemed very good at acting like an ass anyway, but he did this, and it was pretty funny because it seemed like it actually offended the goats. So they took matters into their own hands. Have a look at what happened here. Oh, now if only there was something down there to start with, but that goat had a good crack. So I'd like to give a round of applause to that little goat, and I would like to start a petition that that thing needs to be knighted. That little goat should probably be in the line of succession. That is a great effort. Well done, kiddo. I love that little goat. So cute. So it turns out I didn't even really need to roast Harry today because that little goat did most of the work for me. Oh, Harry. Nothing ever goes your way, really, does it? But let's get to these two because I wonder if they have started spilling the beans already. Because literally 5 seconds after they left Highgrove, things have started to leak, haven't they? What do you know? Are you surprised? So we got this in the Daily Mail. Inside Charles's reunion with Harry, Meghan, and their kids, and how they used a Highgrove lunch for Chanel students to hide the private meeting, and why the Sussexes were full of smiles during the trip. So much information already, okay? So this is how they entered Highgrove in the first place. So there was an event going on there at the same time, and it was an exclusive Chanel lunch. Now, this lunch was honouring students who had completed an elite 24-week embroidery course. So there was lots of movement in and out of Highgrove for this event. So it says a source, oh, I wonder if this is from the Sussexes. It says that there were a large number of cars coming and going from Highgrove for the Chanel event, which allowed the Sussexes' car to blend in and help them to enter the estate without being spotted. Now, it's only through the Sussexes that we would know this information. So, as you can see, they are already leaking this out to us. Now, we also found out this because it says here Harry and his family are believed to have met King Charles and Queen Camilla between 3:30 and 4 p.m. So, sometime between then, like who would know this? Only them. And that they remained with the King and Queen for more than an hour. Again, more information leaking. I mean, it's so stupid. If these guys were a boat, they would have sunk ages ago. So someone is leaking information already. Oh my goodness. Now, I'm sure that the palace knew that this was going to happen, and that's why they have already put so many safeguards in place. And really, unless Meghan can get her sticky little fingers on these photos, a lot of people are not even going to believe that this happened. So she will be wanting those photos ASAP, trust me. She will be doing everything she can to get those from the palace. And good luck because I do not think that is ever going to happen. So I could not believe just how quickly this has started to leak. I really hope that this was it. I hope the palace have finally woken up and there will be no more meetings. There doesn't really need to be. A Zoom call will suffice, King Charles. Oh, so please, please, please let me know your thoughts on that. Now, I want to get to this story as well because, as I showed you in one of my previous videos, there was a competition or a kind of poll to choose the name of this train, and apparently the Spirit of Invictus was the name that they chose. Now, that sounded pretty boring to me, and as I showed you the other options, it was pretty obvious that this one was always going to win. So I felt that this was a complete whitewash, as Harry would say. So I put the call out to you guys. Give me a better name for this train. I reckon we can do much better than the Spirit of Invictus. That is so boring. So this was my question. The new Invictus train has been named the Spirit of Invictus. I think we can do better. What do you think this train should be called? So let's have a look at what you said. Now, first of all, Sue said, what do they need a train for? And that is a great question, and I just can't answer that for you. I'm so sorry. I wish I had the answer. Can someone please explain why we are even doing this? So, what a great question to start with, but unfortunately, no clue. I'm sorry. Maybe Harry knows. We should ask Harry this. But here are some of the answers. We could call it, says Diane Edwards, the end of the line. I love this. Now, when I saw this one, I thought, oh, these are going to be so good. The end of the line. It really is the end of the line for Harry. Great, great response. Thank you for that one. Now, this one here, the little prince that couldn't. Oh, see, these are just going to get even better. How perfect is this? What a great name for a train. Now, this one here, the will she, won't she express. Oh, that has been this entire trip. Will they, won't they? Are they coming? Are they not coming? Will they meet the king? It has been such a roller coaster. Like, I feel nauseous, the amount of flip flopping that has been going on. So, that was a great answer. Thank you. And this one here, last train to nowhere. Exactly. Or end of the road. Oh, these are so great. Last train to nowhere. Invictus is going nowhere as long as Harry is involved, that's for sure. So thank you for that answer. What about this one here? The gravy train. Oh, now we're talking. Thank you, Mitter5797. What a great answer. The gravy train. Oh my goodness, you guys are so funny. And we have this one here from Betsy Morris. All aboard the crazy train to 2027 Invictus Birmingham. No refunds once you climb on board. Of course, there's no refunds, just like the As Ever brand. Thank you, Betsy. That is great. The crazy train. Oh, no wonder Harry didn't show up. It was too easy. Now, this one here from Kathleen Birkinshaw, author. She says, cash cow for the Duke and Duchess. Of course it is. That is almost too obvious, Kathleen. Thank you for that one. And this one here from AB2B, the spirit of Ingriftus. Yes, I think they must have misspelt Invictus. It should actually say the spirit of Ingriftus. Oh, what is the spirit of Invictus anyway? Not showing up. What a great spirit that is. And what about this one here? The litigation locomotive. That's great. The victim Voyager. Oh, these are good. The My Truth train, the damage control diesel, or the woe is me wagon. So much thought put into those. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. My favorite there is probably the litigation locomotive. I love that. So clever and very, very on brand, of course. Now, this one here says the gimme gimme choo choo. Very clever. A little bit like Jimmy Choo. Instead of that, it is the gimme gimme choo choo. Oh, so great. Love it. Yes, Meghan would definitely be aboard that one. And what about this one from Miss Patricia? The Karma Carriage. Oh, you should have spelled carriage with a K, Miss Patricia. Yes, just like Chris Jenner, everything with a K. Oh, Karma is serving them well, don't you think? Gosh, I love Karma. Now we have this one here, the crushed spirit of Invictus. I see what you did there. You have just added to what they already called it. That is genius. The crushed spirit of Invictus. Very easy to change it as well. You could just get some spray paint and just add that at the start. I love that. Thank you. And this one here, the Prince Thicko Unconscious Bias Express. Now, I know he hates being called the Prince Thicko, so well done. I see how you've done that. And unconscious bias, that is always funny because they are using that for any excuse under the sun. Just because people don't like them, there must be some unconscious bias. Yeah, right. Nothing to do with your behavior, is it, Harry? No. That's a great response. I love that. The Cash Grab Express. Perfect. A nice big dollar sign painted on the side, maybe. That would look great. Put it in gold, or maybe the Invictus colours, whatever they are, if anyone would ever know. Maybe yellow and grey or something like that. Who knows? Meghan definitely doesn't know. And what about this one here? The spare of Invictus. Instead of choo choo, it goes wah. So good. Oh, I would love to see that. That is so good. No wonder he didn't show up. Now I'm starting to realize why. Now, this one here, the magic mushroom mystery train. Yes, Harry would have voted for that one, I'm sure. Probably saw the train talking to him as well. And this one here, royal coattails. Yes, has nothing to do with the train, of course, but it is just funny. Well done, a peaceful spot one, love it. And this one here from Claire Bear, the spirit of Meghan's wardrobe budget. Very, very clever. That is what the spirit of Invictus actually is. I think you've nailed it, Claire Bear. I was just wondering what the spirit was, and you have just explained it to me perfectly. Thank you for that. We are all helping each other over here. Now, Catherine says on the wrong track. Oh, this is too easy for you, Catherine. This train has obviously been derailed a few times, but on the wrong track. I love that. Now, what about this one? Trainee McTrain face. Oh, we had to have one of those, didn't we? Thank you, Jessie May. Yes, of course. Keep calm and carry on, Jessie May. I love that as well. Now, this one here from Wicked Villa says the express train to hell. Okay, very, very straightforward. Wicked Villa doesn't beat around the bush. That's where that train is going, according to them. And this one here, she would call it I am the spirit of Diana, wouldn't she? The spirit of Invictus, the spirit of Diana. Maybe one of those carriages could be called the Diana. Why not you use her name for everything else? Why not a train as well? Now, what about this one here? Dragon Slayer spare parts choo choo. That's great. That is so good. The Dragon Slayer. Something tells me we are never going to hear those words ever again. I don't know why I think that. I just had a premonition just then. I don't think we will hear anything more about dragons. And how about line to the bottom of the barrel? That is exactly where they are headed. Well done. Thank you for that one. Grifters on board, perhaps? Well, only if Harry and Meghan are getting on it, of course. But I see what you're doing there, and I love your little dog. That is so cute. Well done. And what about this one? This is a classic. The People Magazine Express. But I have been seeing Women's Day magazine with a lot of pro Sussex articles lately. Yes, well, they're probably trying lots of different things, but I love that. The People Magazine Express. Great advertisement for both Harry, Meghan, and People Magazine. Great work, Tammy. But I have found the top four, okay? And I think we need to rename this train. I'm going to do a poll and you guys can vote for which one you think is the best. So these are the choices, okay? The first one here is the Invisible Prince, since he didn't show up to unveil it. That is genius. You have to think about that. The Invisible Prince. I love that one. Well done, Leslie. Let's see if you can win this. Now, second of all, we have the Karma Express. Another great answer. What do you think about that? What about the train wreck of Invictus? I mean, that's genius as well. Basically, the same as Spirit of Invictus, but just train wreck. And last but not least, we have the Dumbarton Gravy Train, which I personally love as well. That is from Rachel. So, guys, go and check out the poll. I've put it up as a post. Please vote for one of those four and let's rename this train. Vote now and let's see what we can call it. Oh, this is just too easy. It really is. But no. So the book we are reading is this one here by Emma Grede. It is called Start With Yourself, A New Vision for Work and Life. And I know some of you guys are reading along with me. I hope you are enjoying it as much as I am. And even if you are not, I'm sure you're going to get something out of these sessions. I'm going to try and give you as much information as possible. So we are up to part 3 of this book, and it's all about old thoughts. So this is how Emma explains this section. She says part 3 is the heart of the book. It's 6 chapters, 6 categories of old thoughts that I had to dismantle to build the life that I have. These are inherited beliefs about work, money, ambition, family, business, and leadership that function as invisible rules. My framework is simple: name the old thought, interrogate it, replace it with a new thought that is true and actually useful. So, this section starts off with Emma speaking about gratitude, and someone has asked her, "Aren't you grateful for everything that you've achieved?" Now, Emma is very, very smart, and she knows that gratitude is made up of two parts. And I didn't know this, but gratitude means that number one, you are recognizing a positive outcome, and number two, that you are recognizing that there is an external source for this positive outcome. Now, Emma's not happy with that. She's very proud that everything she does, she has earned. So she says, "Well, I'm not grateful. I am responsible for my own success and I am proud of myself." So she helps us to understand that your success and your ability to move forward is not merely a function of luck or being in the right place at the right time. Because she says to be in the right place at the right time, you must put yourself in motion, you must take action, and you must take responsibility for that action. So she says you're not a bystander in your own life, and to stop attributing your success to external factors, be proud of yourself. And the funny thing is that she uses this speech by Snoop Dogg as an example of that. Take a listen here to his speech when he received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. This is a classic. That is so good. Oh, Snoop Dogg, what can I say? So, these are the topics we're going to talk about today. As Emma said, there are 6 different categories. I'm going to go through 2 of them. So, the first one here is all about trade offs. And the first old thought she wants us to reframe is this one here: it's either or, meaning basically you can't have everything. You can't be a good mother and have a successful career. Like, it's not possible. That's the old thought here. And that kind of thinking, obviously, is going to make you not want to try and achieve both. It just seems like it's not even possible. So, in this chapter, she does use parenting as her main example. But what she says is that, yeah, you can't achieve both if you have this idea of what parenting is that is unrealistic in the first place. So, watching Instagram, another example she uses, and seeing people making those bento boxes for their kids for lunches, everything's perfect. I mean, it's just never going to happen. You can't achieve that, and you don't need to, she says. We don't need to overparent our kids. She's very big on that. She says that these kinds of reels, they really overburden women and they're not helpful at all. So you'll never see that kind of content on her Instagram. So instead, she says to focus your energy on things that matter. And when it comes to your kids, focus on the parenting things that matter. So, of course, give them love. All of their needs need to be met. But you don't need to go to all the mother's coffee catch ups and all of those things. Don't overexert yourself. Just do what matters. So she wants us to reframe this old thought, it's either or, instead to be it's both and. And that requires anticipating trade offs and planning for them. So, knowing what's going to happen in the future. Okay, I need to go to this really important work meeting. How am I going to navigate this? There's only one of me. These are the things I'm going to put in place to make sure that I can do both, and to also be accountable for those decisions as well. Now, the second old thought that she mentions is this one here. Not only is there a right decision, but the rightness of your decision should be apparent right away. And again, she says that this just isn't correct because rumination is so bad for your mental health that you need to make a decision. You need to practice making decisions. That's the only way you get better at it. And to do things like trust your gut and your instincts. And she says the most confident decision makers are not the ones that get it right all the time, but the ones that make their decisions right. So she wants us to reframe this old thought here that there's a right decision and it's going to be so apparent immediately. Instead, change it to this one here. You make decisions and then you make those decisions right. Life requires constant iteration. You see everything as a learning opportunity to inform what you choose to do next. So make the decision, do what you think is right, and then make that decision work for you. Probably sounds easier said than done, but I see what she's trying to say is just make the decision and accept how that turns out for you. Now, next up, she says that this old thought needs to change as well. Perfection is the right goal. And she says here that that is just not helpful. That idea of perfection is just not possible. And that the pursuit of perfection doesn't work in business because you must take risks, you must stumble and fall on your face. Oh, I can think of someone that has fallen on their face many times in business. But she says the most important thing is to learn from failure. So she wants us to reframe this old thought, perfection is the right goal, to this one here. Perfection is both futile and boring. The process is much more interesting. Now we get to chapter 2, and that is all about money. And it seems to be Emma's favorite topic as well. She's very good at speaking about it. The first old thought here is this one: nice girls don't speak about money publicly or think about it. And she hates that. She really does. Because in her experience on her podcast, when she does her Aspire podcast, she says that most women don't want to talk about money, but the men don't seem to have the same hang ups. So she sees this firsthand. So she says that growing up with a single mother, her mother taught her all about money. She treated the bills as a basic reality, and she taught Emma the cost of things. So even like the gas bill, the electricity bill, Emma was very much across how much they would cost. And she's had really good leadership with money right from the start, even though she came from quite a poor background. So she's been comfortable speaking about money for a very long time. And she says the more comfortable you get talking about it, asking questions and handling it, the more effectively you can make more of it. And she gives us these tips here. So speak freely about money in both personal and professional contexts with your friends and colleagues. Teach yourself about finances, understand mortgage rates, savings options, retirement accounts, and investment vehicles. So do your research basically. Never allow anyone to make financial decisions on your behalf without your understanding and consent. That's huge. Never undersell yourself or give your service away for free without making it clear that you're doing so, and make financial plans. So she wants us instead to reframe this idea here that nice girls don't speak about money, to instead think of it in this way: take the fear out of money by facing it and thinking about it constantly. It's a type of exposure therapy that will build comfort over time. Now, the next old thought regarding money is this one here: scarcity is real, and if you ask for more, someone will get less. Now, she said that this applies to women in particular, that women like to take the short straw because they don't want someone else to miss out. So she instead asks us to reframe this one here to be something more like this: money is not relational. Advocate for yourself first, then you can think about other people. So get that whole idea out of your head that if you get more, someone gets less. That is going to hold you back. Advocate for yourself first. I love that one. Then we have this old thought here about money. You should be satisfied with what you have, as there are people out there who have so much less than you. It's greedy to want more. Now, I've heard a lot about that one. That one really stands out to me. And Emma is really big on getting paid what you are worth and to not be scared to ask for it. So she instead wants us to reframe that mindset to be this one here: you need to think about yourself first. Nobody else will do this for you. Everybody else is too busy thinking about themselves. So again, you can see she's such a strong woman. She's like, stand up for yourself, get paid what you deserve. And no, it's not greedy to ask for more. You have to care about yourself. No one else is going to do that for you. Oh, so there is a lot in this book to get through. There really is. But as you can see, she's really starting to pick apart all of our thoughts and trying to get us to understand that really, at the end of the day, it seems as though that we are the only ones holding us back. Having these thoughts is not helping, but she's giving us a different inner dialogue for us to be able to work through those barriers. So this is a great book. I am loving it. There's so many more chapters to get through. I hope you're enjoying this so far. And guys, if you do want to read along with me, please feel free to head over to the link in the description box below. Grab your free copy of the Audible edition of this book. All you have to do is sign up for 30 days, cancel whenever you want, and you can jump into this book immediately. You are going to love it. There is so much wisdom here on every page. I'm writing so many notes down. It's insane. But guys, that is my show for today. I hope you have enjoyed it. What do you think about Harry and Meghan already leaking information? I mean, how else would we know this stuff? It's so predictable. The palace must just be rolling their eyes over there. And of course, what do you think about Harry getting roasted today for not showing up to the train reveal event? And then, of course, for acting like a complete idiot and getting his balls trampled all over. How great was that little goat? I love that thing. So guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will absolutely keep these videos coming. Take it easy, guys. Bye.